This is Stories of Salem, presented by Capital Community Media. I'm your host, Megan Jonas, reporting with my co-host, Ashley Jackson Lawrence. CC Media celebrated the summer solstice with musicians across the city for Make Music Day. Make Music Day is a vibrant celebration of live musical performances put on by over 165 bands at 50-plus locations. Originating in France in 1982, Make Music Day has spread across the globe. CC Media live-stream performances from the Gerry Frank Amphitheater main stage, and Ashley and I spent the day interviewing local performers. Hear from the Severn Sisters, Stormy Outside, The Reverberations, and more, and check out Stories of Salem Substack and CC Media's YouTube for full interviews and performances from Make Music Day 2023. When the Severn Sisters play, boots start tapping. With siren-like harmonies that could call any sailor home and an undeniable bluegrass twang, this trio of sisters reminds us of the long days of an Americana summer. How are y'all feeling today?
Good.
We're great. The sun's out.
Yeah, it's gorgeous today. Lots of people out and about.
To get started, I'd love to hear a little bit more about the Severn Sisters, the type of music you play.
So we do a combination of bluegrass and country. We do some originals and we do some covers as well. Today we played earlier as a trio, doing more of the bluegrass stuff, and then this evening playing at the amphitheater. We've got our 5-piece, which will have drums and electric guitar as well. So more some like country cover tunes and stuff as well.
And are y'all sisters, or is that just part of the name?
We are sisters. In fact, we're twin sisters.
Oh, I'm a twin. Okay.
Haley's the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. What's it like playing with music with your family?
I love it. To me, it's like getting to have the best hobby with the best people. And so, getting to spend time with the girls and getting to do something we all are really passionate about. And then, sometimes get paid for it, get to go to all the fun events.
It definitely helps, being siblings. I think that we're able to connect, with those harmonies and stuff a little bit more.
What was it like growing up in your house? Were you always just singing together, playing music together? When did that kind of start?
So for Heidi and I, we were around 9, right? Yeah, 9 when we decided to start playing guitar and then violin for her. And we decided we wanted to play together, and the best way to do that is folk music. So thank goodness the Salem Public Library hooked us up with some really great folk tune books. And so we were able to start playing together, and then, once you're kind of in the folk music genre, it's easy to go to bluegrass. And then Haley's always been singing. Always had a beautiful voice from the time she was just itty-bitty. She was, singing in the shower, singing in the bath, singing when she would wake up. So we used to call her Haley Bird because she had that just beautiful voice.
I will say, when growing up and playing music, we figured out really quickly that we could get out of chores if we were in our rooms practicing. So we were never bored. We were always playing music.
Haley, I'm curious what you think of all of this with the music, especially Haley Bird, the singer. Now you sing with your sisters all the time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I grew up watching their shows before I became involved. And it's been really interesting trying to forge my own place. But I think at this point, we're getting to the point where we're all pretty comfortable and we're working as a team, and I think that we're all better off for it.
How do you think that your music shapes your life?
I mean, it's such a huge part of my life. It's, my biggest hobby right now. And so, getting to think about what I'm doing on the weekends, and it's going to involve something, likely something with these two, doing some show, especially in the summer, and, it's just incredibly joyful.
Music, it's stability for a lot of people. It's always been and always will be, and it's something that helps a lot of people get through hard times and good times, celebrations, sad times, and it's just that stability for a lot of people, and that's what music is to me. It's something that's always been there for us.
Yeah, it's kind of an anchor. Yeah, I agree.
Well, for me, I would say that music definitely brings balance to my life. I work in the veterinary field, so it's very technical. I love what I do, but a lot more science-based, a lot more fact-based, and so being able to have a creative outlet that's not black and white facts, being able to just kind of make something new, I think is really important to have.
concerts and live events like Make Music Day are so important. Give me that mic. They're so important because it's all about connection and human connection. And, you don't get that same connection on the radio. When you can see the musicians, their fingers, the strings, and you can feel the vibration of the bass and everything in person, it's just, it's really amazing.
So excited to hear your set. As a huge bluegrass fan, I was stoked when I was going through and listening to everyone's songs. I was like, wow, this is great. I'm super excited. Is there anything you want to leave the listeners with before we cut back to Make Music Day?
Thank you for supporting live music and the Salem music scene, and continue to listen, continue to go to live shows.
Take your kids to live shows. It makes a huge difference. That's what inspired us to play, was going to live shows.
Yeah, those are the core memories you really want, those really positive ones.
Oh, I love that. Awesome. Well, from CC Media, this is Megan here with the Severance Sisters. Thanks for tuning in. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Stormy Outside is a soft-spoken, authentic solo artist that reaches across genres, drawing from punchy pop-punk formulas and mixing them with rap for a Machine Gun Kelly-esque sound, though you may not expect it from his quiet, kind demeanor. With purple hair, painted nails, and music to mosh to, Stormy Outside is one to watch. As he opens for Soulja Boy in the fall, and with a slate of performances lined up for the rest of the year, Stormy Outside has no intention of slowing down.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, actually. It's a nice sunny day. I'm here and I'm ready to do it.
So how would you describe your sound or your music to someone who's never heard you before?
I like to dabble in everything. I don't like making the same song twice. So I'd say like pop music, but I do a lot of hip hop and a lot of like pop punk stuff. So I'm across the spectrum. I've made a country song before, so that's, I just like to do it all.
What do you think you're playing the most of nowadays, or what can people expect with this set today?
Today I have a different style of song for every song that I'm doing, so it's going to be a wide variety. But most of the time I get booked for hip hop shows, so I'm doing more of my hip hop stuff. But I want to branch out, do some more like pop shows, singing, kind of like try to branch out as best as I can.
How would you describe the music scene in Salem?
Diverse. I think it's very diverse. There's a lot of rock out here, a lot of metal. Hip hop is starting to come back. Before COVID, it was pretty popular, and then COVID hit, so like everybody stopped doing shows. But now it's starting to wind itself back up. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
And how would you say that being a musician impacts your life, especially with how many genres you cross on a pretty regular basis, it sounds like?
I've been performing since I was 15, so this is kind of just like what I do, like I make time for it, and I set aside like parts of my life to solely focus on music. I have a studio out in Albany, so I go there once a week to just kind of feel vibes and try to figure out what I want to do next. So yeah, just it feels good to be able to perform like to people. That's my favorite thing about music, is being able to perform and see people's reactions to my music.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was actually going to be my next question for you. Talking about the pandemic and kind of coming out of that with live performances, how would you say like the vibe between you and audiences have changed over the past few years?
Well, I've gotten better. I used to not be as good, but now that I've gotten more comfortable with myself and more comfortable with my stage presence, I can really feel the connection. And like with social media being as like short form content being super popular right now, I was able to like drop a song, not like just preview it for like 2 weeks, and then I performed it and everybody already knew the words when I performed it. So it was kind of cool to see how music gets out there.
Do you think that there's a lot of pop punk in Salem, or are you kind of a standalone in that way?
I think that I haven't really seen a lot of people dipping their fingers into pop punk. I feel like I have the opportunity to bring other artists into that realm and kind of like show them like, hey, like this is fun to do, why don't you make something like that?
How would you say that your musical persona, Stormy Outside, kind of differs from your own personality?
I used to go by a different name for the first like 10 years of my career, and then I felt like I wasn't being myself, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't like being true to who I wanted to be in my music, and so I changed my name to Stormy Outside because my actual name is Stormy. So I just feel like that's more of like what I wanted to be, is like more myself. So I feel like now the music I make is way more authentic and real, in my own opinion. I got a lot of fans that are like, we love the old stuff, and I'm like, I love it too. It's just, it's not as good as what I'm making now,
You're like,
in my
I
opinion.
love it, but it's not me, and it's not like from my heart in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Is there anything else you want to leave the folks with before we cut back to Make Music Day?
I think that everybody should chase your dreams, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't, because it is a big world out there, and somebody is going to like it. Love that.
Oh, I love that. And with that wonderful note, this is Megan from CC Media Salem. We're here at Make Music Day 2023 with Stormy Outside. Thanks for listening in.
Bye.
That was awesome.
If we were the main characters in a video game, Under the Deku Tree is who we'd want playing in the background. This Portland-based band of lovable gamers covers songs from anime and video games, adding a textured jazz and funk fusion to the Make Music Day mix. Their merch, featuring a sprouting Deku Tree inspired by the Legend of Zelda, is designed to grow with the group as they go through the epic quest of becoming a full jazz band in the PNW.
How are y'all feeling today?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Doing great.
Yeah, I'm pretty good, yeah.
Excited
Good
to play.
weather.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what can you tell us about your band?
We're a Portland-based video game anime cover band that does jazz, rock, funk and fusion kind of covers of various video games, some anime tunes here and there.
That makes a lot of sense. And then where are you all from? You're based out of Portland, but I know you're from Salem.
Yeah, I'm from Salem. I grew up here in Salem, and after high school, I was like, Salem, it's all right, but I would like to experience the quote unquote big city. But I sometimes miss it,
So is this your first time at Make Music Day, or have you been to Make Music Day a ton since you grew up here?
It's first time.
Wow, what do you think of it so far?
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, what's it feel like to be out here playing music in front of, all these folks out here at the Gerry Frank Amphitheater?
I'm excited, especially since I know that this structure is just recently built, and I was super excited to be confirmed to play here.
And so I know you guys, I saw like a big tuba up there, I saw a trumpet, I think. What kind of instruments are in your band?
So we have sort of a core set of us. Max plays bass. I play keyboard or drums, depending on who's in the band. Jane, our drummer's up there right now. You play lead sax. We try to usually get as many people as possible. The ideal thing would be to have like basically a full jazz band, so full brass section, full winds. Right now, today we have the sousaphone, which is the tuba-looking thing up there. We have 2 saxophones, a trumpet, and a trombone. And sort of it kind of changes over time. So the core of us usually the rhythm section of us stay usually pretty consistent. Depending on who's busy when, if somebody's moving away, like one of our lead sax players moved across the country to do Masters in Music Education. So it just kind of depends on who's around. And we try to like keep the identity of the band pretty consistent, always doing video game music, always doing anime music. And sometimes it changes a little bit based on how we approach it. Sometimes it's more like traditional jazz based, sometimes it's more modern. We really try to like mix it up. But instrumentation wise, it's kind of like whatever we feel like, because a lot of us are multi-instrumentalists. So we have Jeffrey on sousaphone today. He also plays trombone, he plays euphonium, it kind of just depends, but we have music that kind of caters towards that today, so we picked that.
Do you have any songs you're super excited to play today?
I love Blue Resort.
Blue Resort, yeah, Blue Resort from Bomberman 64. That's a fun one. Lost Woods from Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yeah.
The reason we found out like how to say your name is because one of the people that works at CC Media actually is obsessed with Zelda. And so it was like, that makes a lot of sense because this is the vibe of their band, which is awesome. And then I know you were just saying earlier that the band has existed for 6 years in different iterations. Could you give more detail on that?
Well, we started out like 6 years ago playing like small little gigs and conventions. Very different instrumentation at that point. We had a clarinet player, for example. But over the years, it's kind of changed in terms of like who's playing, what kind of gigs we're doing, the complexity of the arrangements that we've been putting together. And this is kind of like the third iteration now. I'd say, of third gen. Yeah. And honestly, it's been getting cleaner. The band's been more together. Arrangements have been tighter, so it's been getting better as we go.
And something that we like to point out is that everybody in this group like really grows from it, because we're playing like all music that is really fun to play. Everybody's familiar with, like video game tunes and anime tunes. And it's cool because it's a way to practice music without just going home and practicing scales alone in your room. And really, like we're really musical. We really try to pay attention to the details and make it really good. So we like that the group is a growth area for people as well.
What would you say the chemistry of the group is now that you're in, hopefully, what is the final iteration of the band?
I don't know. Overall, I think we just all just like to have fun playing music together. Because once we come back together as a core group, where I just see everyone smile, laughing, like, oh, you played this one of your solos. Oh, I get the quote. It's just overall, everyone's having fun.
It's pretty chill.
It's really chill, yeah.
Are there any events or new music releases you guys want to plug?
Our album is actually coming out sometime next month.
Ooh.
So it's going to be our first album. So we're really excited about that. We've been working hard to get this finally out.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Thank you so much for being here, guys. We're really looking forward to hearing your set. I'm Megan from CC Media with Under the Deku Tree. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, guys.
Listening to the reverberations puts a listener right into the psychedelic, incense-infused aura of the 1960s. With a jacket that could easily fit on the cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, a bolo tie that would make Bob Dylan jealous, and red glasses that John Lennon would certainly try to borrow, this Pacific Northwest rock group grabs an audience attention instantly. As they start playing singles from their last record, Half Remembered Daydreams, complete with a funky guitar lick, sliding keys, and a transcendent voice, this band reminds us why classics always come back around.
How are y'all feeling today?
Good.
Doing great.
Yeah.
Perfect weather. Thank
Happy
you for
summer.
that. Thanks for setting that up.
Yeah, it is perfect weather for the summer, huh? And we're lucky we aren't baking in the sun too much yet. So first of all, how would you describe your sound of the reverberations? Because you did just say earlier that you don't speak through your words, you speak through your music.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, since the start of the band, we kind of started off as more of like 60s garage rock, playing like 3-chord Louie kind of rip-offs, and then now we've kind of gone a little more to the psychedelic side of things, and whatever just feels natural is really kind of how it goes. And we just write songs that hope mean something to us and are special, and Bob and I are kind of the main songwriters, but we all collaborate and work out our own parts.
Rarely play covers anymore, so what you're going to hear today is all originals.
All originals.
That's awesome. So what's your songwriting process like between the two of you?
Well, sometimes we collaborate, but most of the time I'm able to flesh out stuff on my own, or if the magic is happening at a rehearsal, sometimes we all make it up on the spot and work with it from there, and then fine-tune it later. But at this point, I mean, we've done a whole group collaboration of songs where in the recording studio we're like, oh, we should change the words to this and change it up right then. But I would say most of the time it's hashed out individually. I write a song and kind of like make a demo of it and then bring it to rehearsal. We go from there.
We all have some sort of recording equipment at home, so we can make a demo, and Dave can make a demo of his song. Even though he plays guitar in the band, he can add bass parts and drum parts and vocals and everything. And I'm the keyboard player, but I can do the same thing using the computer. Add various parts for the demo, and then give that to the band, and everybody listens to it and goes, oh, well, here's what I'd like to do instead of what you recorded.
So all of you are from different parts of the Pacific Northwest, kind of around the Salem area. Do you want to go ahead and say where you're from and what the process is getting everyone together to rehearse?
That is a process. I live out in Gresham now, but I was born and raised in Portland. John?
I live right here in Salem, and I drive up to our drummer's house, and we practice there.
Nice.
Portland, and
I live on the west side of the river, southwest Portland, and we have a practice space at our drummer's house. He's just barely in the Portland city limits.
Yeah.
And then our bass player lives in St. Helens and has to drive in.
We're all commuting to this one central little spot.
Yeah, it works out.
Very little spot.
Very little spot. Yeah. Not much bigger than this tent we're under. Yeah.
I'm curious how you get a drum set and all your kit in a spot smaller than this tent. I can't imagine.
We each get a corner.
Yeah, we each get a little corner and about maybe 8 to 10 inches of our own personal space, and
Just a little bit.
earplugs required in our little space for sure.
That makes a lot of sense. Perfect. And then, is this your first time playing at Make Music Day?
We played last year. We
Perfect.
actually played right in the alley next to Taproot last year.
Oh, nice. So
And
this
it
is
was
a bit of a step up, being
This
on the
is a-
main stage. How's that feel?
Definite upgrade. Definite upgrade.
Big upgrade.
No, we arrived at the little alley and found that there was no PA and there was one electric outlet. So we had to run all our stuff off of one electrical outlet.
Oh, gosh.
We were afraid, we're going to shut down the lights on the block.
Yeah.
Don't tell OSHA that happened.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what's your favorite thing about Make Music Day?
I'd say the diversity. Like there's an orchestra right now, and then we're an amplified rock and roll band. So, and there's I think the River City Rock Academy was up first. So I mean, there's 3 very different things right there. I love that.
That's awesome. And then for my last question, is there anything important, any new music you guys are releasing coming up soon, any events you want to let people know about?
Yes, actually, we just put out our 3rd record. We started it right before the pandemic kind of shut everything down, and it's out now. And you can contact us and get a copy.
That's perfect.
We'll be selling them at the show today, too.
What's the name of the record?
Half Remembered Dreams.
Perfect. Half Remembered Dreams by the Reverberations. Everyone check it out. Thanks so much for being here, guys. We'll cut back to Make Music Day. This is the Reverberations, and I'm Megan from CC Media. Thanks for listening in on this Make Music Day 2023.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
This hip-hop crew, featuring Cody Nash, Robotic Torres, Jacob Hernandez, and Tevin Rose, brought the seemingly underground but widely growing Salem hip-hop scene to the surface of everyone's minds at Make Music Day 2023. Cody Nash is the center of the group, bringing together lifelong friends with new acquaintances to offer audiences an eclectic sound.
How are y'all feeling today?
We are good, yeah.
All right, doing all right.
Doing amazing.
Awesome. You want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm Cody Nash.
My name is Jacob.
Jacob, yeah.
And I'm Robotic Torres.
And Rose.
Nice, gentlemen. So what can you tell me about yourself and the set that y'all are about to play?
I've been performing out here for like 10 plus years. I used to go by That Kid Cry. I stopped performing for a few years, and this is my first time back, so super excited to hit the riverfront stage. And DJ 42 invited me, so shouts to DJ 42. And then he asked me to bring some friends, so I was like, hey, I got some friends. And Tevin Rose, he's grinding all the time, freestyling every day. Like I see him in his car just like knocking out verses all the time, just practicing, and I just love watching him work. So I was like, I want to see him live. So I hit him up, and he happened to be out here. He lives in Colorado. Yeah, he just happened to be out here. I was like, yeah, let's go. It was meant to be, And then Jacob, and he's from White Collar Rhymes. We're part of a crew. It's like 12 different artists, or 15 maybe now, from all over the world, like Texas and the UK and California and all over the place. And so me and him are the Oregon chapter out here, and we're gonna hold it down out here for them. And then this guy, Robotic Torres.
What up, guys? Robotic Torres, as you heard. I'm a beatboxer. Been doing this for about 17 years now. Started at 8 years old. I'm 25 right now. Been performing since 13, so about 13 years in the books of just performing out here. Been doing Make Music Day since I first got word of it, and I haven't stopped. Every year I make sure to come and mark it on the calendar, so pretty happy to be here, and thank you to Cody for making this happen too.
I started music, freestyling. A lot of people always, just told me to do something more with it, and I've, seen Cody and Tristan and Diamond, when he kind of was doing his thing, and so I started started putting myself into it, not being scared of taking the first step, and then it's kind of grown from there. And so now I've got, more shows and connected with people that I didn't know a week or two ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's new faces and new relationships, and that's what's cool about music. It connects and brings everyone around. This is my first time out here, so hope to have many more.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you're performing on this amphitheater that was just built not too long ago, so it's pretty exciting stuff.
All right, well, my name is Jacob. I haven't performed in several years, and this is my first time attending Make Music Day. I'm pretty self-reserved most of the time, but I'm ready to turn up tonight, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna put on a show, put on for White Collar, put on for Cherry City, Salem, Oregon, born and raised, so let's do it.
Yes, sir.
I think a lot of people, when they think of hip-hop, they don't necessarily think of Salem. So what is the hip-hop scene like here?
It's pretty big, honestly. Like, I know so many. I've booked over the last 10 years. I've been a promoter too, and I've booked at least 200 plus artists, and a lot of them are from out here, so like it's just tons of different faces and voices all over the place, especially in Portland when you start branching out the bubble. And Eugene has a crazy underrated hip-hop scene that people don't know about, and they're a college town, so it makes sense. But Salem, there's lots of people here, and these are just a few of the talented ones that are here. Like Stormy Outside, he's going up after us too, and he's really dope. DJ Byro's spinning for us, and she's been holding it down for tons of people over the years and been doing it a long time, so I'm excited to have her behind us. And yeah.
Do you guys have any shows or new releases coming up that you want to plug?
White Collar Rhymes is constantly releasing music. It's a collective of artists. We've got 2 million plus plays on Spotify in just under 2 years, where we release music constantly all the time. So it's like a collective of music and lots of different artists, and so we got that going. And I've got a solo album coming called What Happened, and I'm doing a show next month, I believe the 26th, at the Bad Space. So that's gonna be fun. I've never been there before, so it'll be my first time on that stage too. Yeah.
With me being back Make Music Day for my first performance of the year, I've been building up, hopefully getting some more gigs for the rest of the year. So go out and check out Robotic Tours on Instagram, anywhere else, to see where my later dates will be.
Is there anything else y'all want to leave the people with before we cut back to Make Music Day?
No, I think we stay busy. We're gonna have fun. You guys got anything you want to say? Yeah, you guys.
Let's go!
And with that, we'll cut back to Make Music Day. I'm Megan from CC Media. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, guys.
Blue Essence sounds like the up-and-coming college band of our dreams. Made up of a rotating band of musicians, including Annabella Eisner on vocals and Sam Batts on bass, Blue Essence invites listeners to join them on a higher vibrational wavelength, reaching past genres and drifting into their collective consciousness. On their latest single, Seeing Spots, a surprising violin floats over dreamy indie synth as a steady drumline brings listeners back down from the clouds.
How are y'all feeling today?
Great. We're
Good?
super excited to play this beautiful new amphitheater.
When did y'all start Blue Essence? How did the band kind of come to be, I should say?
So I started the project back in August. And I just brought some original songs to a drummer and guitarist, and I was like, I think this could really spice it up. And then Sam.
I went to a little show they were doing in November in Corvallis at a place called No Nations that unfortunately isn't open anymore due to COVID. But it was a really good show, and I was around a fire pit. Annabella came up, and word came out that they needed a bassist, and I was like, I play bass. And so, I've been with them since November.
Well, I noticed on your last single, Seeing Spots, you kind of mix the country fiddle with a more indie synthy beat. And I'm curious, do you guys cross genres a lot in your music?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say that the fiddle and the violin sound definitely adds sort of that folky vibe to it. And then with that song, I also wanted it to be very dreamy, but I'd say we're also going down a route that's a little more I don't even know. It's very genre bending. It's a lot of things at once. But we're just going where it's taking us.
What are your big plans and goals for the band?
We are going on a little tour this summer.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're playing in Portland, Olympia, Washington, which you can stay updated on our Instagram. We'll post like dates and locations, and then we're going all the way down to Santa Cruz.
What's gonna be your like road trip playlist as you're touring? Where do you kind of draw your inspiration from?
All over. Funny enough, Annabelle actually created like a little playlist, and like on Spotify, you know how you have that join option, and so I'm in there, but I haven't even added any songs yet. So I need to do that. I need to do that for sure.
I know, I saw the little glimmer across all of y'all faces like, oh right, we do have a road trip playlist. That's what we should be doing. Oh, that's so awesome. And then how would you describe your sound to someone who's never heard y'all before?
Kind of like what I said before with like, I call it sort of dream pop because in a lot of songs I play the keys, which sort of changes the sound from just like 4-piece rock band to like a little more chill and like emotional and yeah, like a little not like as heavy as a punk rock band, but still rock.
Well, we're very excited about your set, and do you want to just go ahead and plug what you've got going on with your tour, kind of where people can find that information?
Yeah, sure. So our Instagram is at Blue Essence the Band. Our email is blueessenceband@gmail.com. And yeah, we're going to be posting tour updates there with, I'm probably not going to say exact dates because there's a lot of them, but our next show is on July 6th at the Sage Festival in Corvallis. It's at Bruce Starker Arts Park, another amphitheater, and the money that's donated goes to the Corvallis Environmental Center, so super great fundraiser.
Perfect. Well, is there anything else important about your band that you think people should know about?
One thing I have to say is that I think it's super important to highlight young women in music, and that's sort of what how this band started out, and just kind of being creative ideas and spokeswoman, being woman-led. So
perfect. Well, thanks so much. We're really looking forward to hearing your set. This is Megan with CC Media here with Blue Essence for Make Music Day 2023. Thanks for listening in. Thanks, guys.
It's not often that you see a family pedaling a bicycle across the Peter Courtney Minto Island Bridge while the classic sound of an organ envelops them. It's even less often that the bikers are making the music themselves, but the She-Cell family are the whimsical exception. One of 2 organ bikes in the world, Orgle Kids USA brings the magic of the pipe organ across the country through interactive performances.
How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great.
What can you tell me about this beautiful bike and this wonderful contraption you have here?
So this was a project that we started, it was started in the Netherlands by a team of people who wanted to they wanted to raise awareness for organs among people who are young. So they started this group called Orgle Kids, and they built a kit very similar to this. So at first it was just an organ that would be pumped by hand and could be brought to schools and other events for kids to build. Well, we thought the idea was awesome, so we worked to bring it to the US. And recently we put it on a bike so that we can catch up with the crowds.
Wow, that's awesome. And what is the difference between a piano and an organ?
So pianos are a percussion instrument. It's like the hammers strike the strings, while an organ is a wind instrument. Essentially, each of these pipes is a whistle, and, the wind is pumped by the bellows and goes through, and then the keys let wind into certain instruments.
What's it like biking around with this organ behind you?
Well, you have to pedal constantly, so it's a bit of a challenge, but I get used to it.
What kind of music do you guys like to play on this?
Well, we had a competition where people arranged and also wrote pieces for this, so we've got several arranged Bach pieces and other completely new ones, so it's lots of fun. There's plenty of repertoire for it now.
How long have you been playing the organ?
I've been playing the organ since I was 4 years old.
Wow!
So it's been a lot of fun. take
Yeah.
lessons in Corvallis on a great big organ.
And are you from Salem then?
I'm from Corvallis.
Corvallis? Cool. That's great. And is this something that you can assemble and disassemble easily, or is it like a permanent fixture on this bike here?
Well, it's a 133-piece puzzle, so it can be built by a family in like 1 or 2 hours, or if you mix up all the pieces, a school can build it in 3.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So where do you take this around to?
Well, we've used it for outreach in schools. Last year, we also used this for Make Music Day, and it's a great outreach tool. Sometimes we take it to farmers markets.
Oh, that's awesome. What's been your favorite memory of being on the organ on the bike?
Well, as it raises awareness, lots of people are like, oh my gosh, what is that? And take out their phones, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and you said earlier, only one other one of these exists in the world. Is that correct?
Yes, it's Norway.
I think it's Norway, yeah.
Yeah. Up in Norway, we actually were on Zoom with them with ours, and that was fun. But yeah, just one other.
Wow, so it's definitely unique to Oregon. When I was hearing about this Oregon bike, I thought they meant a bike that was in the shape of Oregon. Viewers, that is not the case. This is a bike with an organ behind it. Anything else that's really cool you want people to know about it?
Well, you can look us up online at orglekidsusa.org. There's many kits, not many bikes, but there are many kits around the U.S., so look one up near you if you're interested.
Thanks so much, and we're excited to hear more about the Oregon music and excited to hear more, hopefully at some farmers markets this summer as well. I'm Megan from CC Media, and this is Make Music Day 2023. Thanks for listening in. That was awesome, guys. To watch or listen to the band's full performances and interviews, visit CC Media's YouTube or storiesofsalem.substack.com. To learn more about Make Music Day, visit makemusicsalem.org. I'm Megan Jonas from Capital Community Media, and this is Stories of Salem. Thanks for listening.